Hello there peeps. Today I thought we'd have a go at stripping out a microwave. Not a lot left in them nowadays, ever since they don't have copper windings. Keep that for the brass plugs later. Bit of VIR goes in the bag. Fan motor in the back. That's about the only bit of copper windings you'll find in these things nowadays. Used to be a time when you could turn any microwave into a fiver. Now, lucky if you get a pound out of them. But I'll show you what I do and what I take and why I take it. First of all, snip every wire you can see. Easiest way is just cut everything. I probably won't be taking the transformer out in this because it's aluminium winding, so it's not worth taking out, because I'm not going to spend 10 minutes stripping the windings out of it for tuppence in aluminium. My scrapyard doesn't take windings anymore because they got sick and tired of finding out that 50% of them are aluminium, so they don't touch them. Simple as that, so I don't bother. I'll give it a scrape, see if there's anything worth having in it. There might be. Can you see this? There's a couple of nice bits of number 2 copper in the back of the magnetron. Drag them out. There you go. I still can't get the up and down bit right. A couple of bits of copper cable go in the number 2. Throw that back in there. This motor's ready to come out. A couple of screws on the back of this. Pull the motor off. I'll bash the wire out of that later. This is just plastic. That goes back inside the microwave for a bit of weight for when my scrap man comes to pick it up. I don't take in light iron personally, but if you do, fill it up with other bits of light iron. It makes a handy little storage container, especially for screws and stuff. And if you fill this up with screws, you wouldn't be able to pick it up. So be careful what you stick in it, because you can quite easily, like when you put brass into a bucket and then realise the bucket's so heavy you can't pick it up. It can be a bit of a pain if you don't keep track of what you're up to. Can you see that? There's a little coil in there that comes out, gets broken up later for the number 2 copper on it. Circuit board back in the microwave. What are we doing? Pull the cables out from where I've cut the mains cable. Just pull them out. You can take them out and keep the outer sheathing and just use it for extra weight. That's why I always cut the plugs close to the plug, that way you get a lot of the plastic off of it. All this cable is just going to go in with my VIR. There's nothing particularly special about it. I don't put it in with singles, to be perfectly honest. Most of my singles are strips, so I don't really get enough of it to bother taking in the singles. Right, another thing I do take out of these microwaves, this motor in there. Put that in with motors. My place does take motors, it just doesn't take windings anymore. Snap that off. That can go back in the microwave. What else do I take out? Right. What else I take out? I don't know if you can see down here, but you can't see there because these switches, they've got little brass contacts in them with silver on them. There's usually 2 or 3 of those per microwave. I put them in a pot along with relays. Sometimes there's a relay, sometimes there's a motor in here. You know, if there's a relay I'll pop it out. These cheap ones don't really have anything like that. Now, screwdriver. give the windings a bit of a scrape. That's an aluminium winding. If you can see that, that's coming up extremely silver looking. Can you see that? I bet you can't. Come on, focus, focus, focus. Will you focus, you shitbag? Anyway, trust me, it's silver in there. Now it's going to bloody focus. See, it's silver. That's an aluminium winding. It's not worth taking out. Leave it in there for the weight. It's worth just as much as light iron as it is the aluminium. Hold the side back over. Bang it back in place. Stick a screw back in. That's the microwave stripped. Done. There's nothing else worth taking out. Stick it over on the pile of scrap and use it for putting, oh, I can never get this right, that way. Use it for putting screws in. As I say, don't fill it up too much, because if you filled it up with screws, you'd never be able to lift the bastard up later. There you go. Well, that's what I do with a microwave. Let's use that motor. I like to take that coil off. So with that, I'll grab hold of it with my adjustable pliers, which I've adjusted the wrong way so they now don't grip it. Turn it over like that. You can see that. Give that a smack until it falls out on the floor. Find out where it is on the floor. Pull the metal block out the middle. Cut the top of the plastic off, and you want to cut it back flush so that when it's off, you literally just pull the copper windings off. If you don't cut it back flush and you get a lip, it will stick and you can't pull the whole lot off, which is what I've done this time. You know, it's like I do it 30 times. As you can see, there's a lip there which I've caught it on, made it more difficult to pull off. There you go, that's that stripped. Number 2 copper. These 2 bits, you could throw it in with motors, but the reality is there's 2 little bits of copper that run around there and a little bit of copper that runs around there. My place won't take that as a motor. It will take it as a motor if you leave the copper in that you've just seen me strip off. It will take it as a motor, but it's actually, I think it's 10 pence a kilo for motors. Up to 20 pence when the price is up, whereas number 2 copper, A, it's smaller, B, it's lighter, and 2, I like to take in copper. I could trim these bits off if I wanted to. I usually put these inside a microwave, and when I've got nothing to do, I'll sit down and I'll trim out these little bits of copper that you can see there. So if you want to take those off, take them off. Personally, I fill up a microwave with these and I give them to my scrap man, and it's a little bit for him. He sits there and takes them off. Otherwise I'm just giving him all my shit, and I don't feel right about that. So I like to leave a little meat on the bone for the next man. That's how I work. That's all, folks. I'll catch you up later. Ta-ra, peeps.